One of the most gifted and accomplished actors of the earlier part of last century was the man of 1,000 voices, so he was known as. His name was Mel Blanc, born in San Francisco, California. And some of the voices that he commanded were Bugs Bunny, Pepe Le Pew, Marvin the Martian, Yosemite Sam, Tweety Bird, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, the Tasmanian Devil, Sylvester the Cat, Barney Rubble, Wile E. Coyote, Woody Woodpecker, Tom and Jerry, their vocal effects, Heathcliff the Cat, Cosmo Spacey, that's their boss on the Jetsons, George Jetson's boss on the Jetsons, Secret Squirrel, Captain Caveman, Foghorn Leghorn, I say. And his career spanned for 6 decades. Mel was married to his wife, Estelle, who was in the radio industry. They married in 1933, and they stayed together until he died in 1989. Find your Alfred. Batman cannot be Batman without Alfred. Someone to be the water and sun to your seed. Someone who has nothing better for them to see than to watch you thrive and grow. Someone who wants to be needed by you. Tommy Sotomayor. I used to be gay, but then I changed it because my father didn't like it. That's from Little Richard in 1982. The rainbow. The rainbow is an arc or a circle that appears in the sky opposite the sun, shining through raindrops, spray, or mist. 911 or 911 in numerology is an angel number symbolizing spiritual awakening, enlightenment, a call or a purpose to one's own life. A message from the universe or divine forces urging personal growth or service to others. How do you say it? 911 or 911? People who hear voices, these voices are referred to as auditory hallucinations, or these people are referred to as voice hearers. 5 to 15% of the population has been said to experience some kind of auditory hallucination at some point in their life. 1 to 2% of these people hear voices regularly. The reason people don't tell anyone what they're doing until it's done or until they finish is because they don't want the non-constructive criticism, or because they'd rather not hear the sound of the crickets of disbelief from others. In other words, selective sharing. Crickets are considered a sign of good luck in certain cultures, as some cultures in China and Native American tribes. Blackmail, the term blackmail, comes from 16th century Anglo-Scottish border, where raiders demanded payments from farmers and communities for protection from pillage and harassment. These payments were done in goods and labor rather than in silver. Any other payment that was done in silver was considered white mail. Payments in silver were all white mail. Over time, the definition of blackmail has evolved to include extortion for information. And this is not any information, compromising information. The feeling of sadness when entering an old home is often called nostalgia. Usually it's linked to a specific type of melancholy tied to a memory and loss. It's a bittersweet emotional response triggered by familiar sights, smells, and objects that evoke past experiences, relationships, or moments that are gone. And psychologically, it might stem from nostalgia, a longing for the past mixed with sadness for what's changed or lost, like a childhood memory or loved ones that are not here. Atmospheric influence, old homes with creaky floors, faded colors, or musty smells can amplify these feelings of time's passage. Grief or loss is the last one. If a home is tied to someone who's passed or a life stage that's ended, it can feel like confronting absence.